The following is a production of CUTV Sports.
It's the most wonderful time of the year if you're a basketball fan. The start of PSAC West Divisional play as the Mercyhurst Lakers invade the Convocation Center to take on the California Vulcans. And hello everyone, alongside Zach Prosba, I am Creighton Rabs. We are delighted to have you with us. Game number 4 of the 2014-15 season for the California Vulcans. And Zach, Vulcans got some good old-fashioned home cooking this past Monday night.
Yeah, they were able to come home after a tip-off tournament at IUP just a little bit down the road. They took on Penn State Fayette, and they won 89-64 in a balanced scoring output. Leading the way for the Vulcans was Armand Marks, who had 17 coming off the bench, the lone senior for this team.
And Armand Marks being that key sixth man that the Vulcans have had since last year. The Lakers, it's been a different story. They went down to Fairmont, West Virginia, didn't quite fare as well.
Yeah, they ended up losing both contests in there. They lost to Fairmont, and in their last game, they lost to West Virginia Wesleyan by a score of 72-62. The offense just has not been there yet for the Lakers, but they always play well against the Vulcans, so expect that to change tonight.
And now let's take a look at the last time these two teams met was in the first round of the PSAC playoffs at 38th and Parade. Zach, a valiant effort in that game, but a little short.
Yeah, California actually, I believe they took a halftime lead in that game, and they were well up late into the second half. Just came up a little bit short. They ended up losing 63-56 to Mercyhurst, who then went on to beat IUP in the PSAC tournament. So California, they started getting hot late, just unable to beat Mercyhurst late in the year.
And now, Zach, let's take a look at some key players to watch. First for California, they have a phenomenal freshman out of Virginia.
Yeah, and Coach Bill Brown has said a little bit that Tony Richardson may be the best player he's ever recruited. He was named PSAC Freshman of the Week for the first week of the season. That's the first time since, I believe, 2010-11 that's happened. Coming in, he's averaged 11 points a game and just under 6 rebounds. He's that big man that California has lacked for the last few years.
And he's one of several highly touted kids new to the program we'll be keeping an eye on tonight. Now for the Lakers, a real thorn in the side for the Vulcans over the last couple of years.
Yeah, you can say his name all over again, Gene Onana. He has been a Vulcan thorn in their sides since he's been playing. He's still only a junior. Seems like he's been here forever, only averaging 3 points and 3 rebounds coming in. But he seems to find a spark against the Vulcans every time it's either here or at the MAC.
Well, in our first PSAC West Divisional game, question is, can the Lakers put out the Vulcans' fire, or can California avoid the Lakers' effect? When we return, Zach and I will have all the exciting action of California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center on the campus of California University of Pennsylvania. The PSAC West divisional opener between the Lakers of Mercyhurst and the California Vulcans. Zach, let's take a quick look at the tail of the tape with one caveat. We're 2 or 3 games in, so those numbers obviously don't tell the real story, though.
Yeah, you can always take those with a grain of salt when the season starts. California coming in averaging 87 points a game. I do not expect them to replicate that output tonight. Mercyhurst has always been known for their defense. They're a very tough defensive team. They're both shooting around the same clip. But when you look at three-point percentage, California right about midway, Mercyhurst only 23.5%. That surprises me. And Mercyhurst takes a lot of threes, so they've probably taken a lot and missed a lot more. California, their free throw percentage is down a little bit too low for my liking as well, just under 63%. But California, where they're really making a difference this year that we've seen so far, rebounds. They have some players that actually go get rebounds this year. You have Richard Smith, who comes in averaging 8.3. He's a transfer from Lakeland Community College. And you also have Tony Richardson, who is a freshman from Sterling, Virginia. We talked about him as a player to watch, just under six, per game. And assists. That's not a stat up here, but Khalil Jabby, a transfer from Northern Virginia Community College. He had 11 assists against Penn State Fayette. And I know some of you at home will think, okay, it's just Penn State Fayette. It's not a lot of competition. 11 assists is 11 assists in my book. He can pass the ball probably better than anyone we've seen, well, at least I've seen in my time here in the past 3 years. I think he's going to be a big spark plug, and we're going to have to watch those new players all night for California.
Yeah, you're talking about the three-point range. Jake Jakubek, 10 for 21 from beyond the arc, so that's helped that percentage as a team for the most part at this early stage of the game. Let's take a look now at the starting lineups. First for the California Vulcans, Avery Allman, the sophomore out of Manassas, Virginia. And Jake Jakubek, the junior out of Struthers, Ohio. Drew Cook, sophomore out of Beaver Falls at one guard. Khalil Jabby, the junior from Virginia, you mentioned, the other guard. And man in the middle is going to be Richard Smith, a junior out of Cleveland, as Zach mentioned, was an all-conference selection at Lakeland Community College. Now for Mercyhurst, it's James Ewing, a senior out of Buffalo, New York. Damon Jones, a junior out of Lawrenceville, Ohio. Gary Williams, a junior out of Aberdeen, Maryland. He's new to the program. A veteran player, Andy Hoying, a junior out of Jackson Center, Ohio. And our player to watch for the Lakers, Jean Onana, a junior from Cameroon.
And when you look at this Mercyhurst lineup, they have a lot of players that have transferred from out of the Mercyhurst program into it, James Ewing, he's a transfer from Toledo. Sean Bynes, who we'll probably see later on, he's a transfer from St. John's College. The one that stands out to me the most, though, Paris Bennett. He's a grad student this year, kind of similar to what Anthony Lytle was last season. Number 33 for the Lakers. We'll see him probably later. He's their leading scorer, or second leading scorer at 11 a game. He's a transfer from George Mason University, the same George Mason that made the long Cinderella run in the NCAA tournament a few years ago. Mm-hmm. So they have a lot of transfer players, and when we were talking during break, I said there's a lot of new faces on this Mercyhurst team from last season and the year before. No longer do you have Jonathan Winion out there or Paul Bilbo. A lot of guys that are kind of trademarks to the Mercyhurst Lakers in the last few years. But you could say the same thing about California, getting a couple big transfers and freshmen. The new influx of talent for both of these teams is going to be interesting to watch.
It sure is.
Because California, I feel in my mind, has gotten a lot more talented this season. Mercyhurst, they're still going to be very talented. They're just going to have to gel a little bit more, as we've seen with their 0-2 record.
And we also point out Damon Jones, one of the starters, along with Richie Hobson. They both transferred from Mercyhurst's campus in the town of Northeast Pennsylvania. I believe, as I understand how that works out, the Mercyhurst Northeast campus is a sort of a junior college, and then the main campus, of course, in the east side of Erie at 38th and Parade, where we were actually up there a few weeks ago for Vulcans football. So it's always an interesting rivalry, regardless of the sport, between Mercyhurst and California. And we mentioned the head coach of the Lakers, by the way, is Gary Manchell. He was previously the head coach at
UMass Lowell. He's in his 12th season with the Lakers. Again, 5 years at UMass Lowell. He has 181 career wins with the Lakers. And, of course, Bill Brown, the head coach at California, now entering his 19th season. He has 346 career wins with the Vulcans. He's 4 away from 350 during his time here at California.
And another one of the longtime coaches, he was for Clarion, Ron Ryder. He actually retired this past season. Bill Brown, I believe he is the longest tenured in the PSAC West, men's side at least. Correct me if I'm wrong there, but Bill Brown, if he can get to 350 wins, that's going to be a major accomplishment. We're about ready for tip-off. Richard Smith against James Ewing.
And Bob Rukavina at UPJ's been there for 26 years, and we're underway. Allman controls the tap. Back to Khalil Jabby, and we are underway here at the Convocation Center. Cook now controlling the ball. He finds Jackie Beck, swings it out now to Jabby. Jabby is going to try and drive, but he's being closely guarded by that Lakers defense. Here's Jackie Beck now. Back to Jabby. Jabby's going to drive to the outside of the lane. Inside, he was going for Richard Smith, but he turns it over, and now Williams controls it for the Lakers.
And that's the one thing I'm interested to see most in this offense, the passing of Khalil Jabby. If he can rack up some assists, California's scoring. So that's going to be a real telltale sign of how this game is going to go.
And now it's going to be Jones controlling it for the Lakers. Over to Hoying. Hoying, slip pass over to Onana. Onana being double teamed, now kicks it back out to Jones. 10 seconds to shoot. Now Jones again looking. Inside, Williams with a jumper. That is no good. Rebound by Smith, but it goes out of bounds. But they're saying it glanced off a Mercyhurst player. Vulcan's possession.
And lucky break there. We were not able to see from the angle that we had currently on our box. And the box is kind of in my way right now on that side of the court. We're going to see Jabby bringing it up for the Vulcans.
There was a big break there for California as Cook now controls it. Inside to Almond. Almond with the jumper. That is no good. Rebound controlled by Hoying. Hands it off over to Ewing, and now on to Jones. Jones will take it over the timeline. Minute and a half game, and it's stolen by Jabby. Jabby now controlling it on the near sideline. Swings it over to Cook. Now Cook back out to Almond. Jabby's going to drive. Jumper is good. Khalil Jabby with the first points of the game. 2-0 Cal.
And I mentioned before, he's the player I'm most excited to look at. That's not our player to watch, Tony Richardson. He had a turnover earlier, then a steal and 2 points, so he's kind of redeemed himself there.
Indeed, Jabby has now it's Jones, swings it over to Onana. Onana goes one-on-one with Jackie Beck. Onana drives the baseline, kicks it out to Hoying. Hoying, jumper, no good. Rebound by Smith.
And Smith, big rebounder, 8.3 a game. Let's see him break up those totals.
3 ball by Smith, no good. Rebound controlled, and a foul on California as Ewing gets the rebound. I take that back. It might be a Mercyhurst. We'll wait for the call. And it is on Andy Hoying.
And that's Hoying's first, and Hoying's kind of looking like, what did I do? And we didn't even see it. I looked up. Smith was taking the 3, and I expect Mercyhurst to come back with the ball. California possession now again.
I'm not going to lie to you. I thought the same thing too, Zach, but nonetheless, break for the Vulcans as Smith had it, but it got tipped out by Ewing. Vulcans will retain possession. 17:45 left in the first half.
And we're seeing right now, Lakers, they struggle on offense, but their defense is very good, like I mentioned before.
Yep.
We're just over 2 minutes into this one, and it's only 2-0. Kind of similar to the way the women's game started.
Yes, indeed, as the tip is tipped by Ewing, controlled now by Onana. Turnover for the Vulcans, and here come the Lakers. And it is Terrence Ingram now in the game, 32 for the Lakers. Hoying, 3 ball, no good. Hits and Ingram gets the rebound.
It looks like right there, Jackie was trying to tip it out to one of his own guys, but Ingram was there. Another possession for Mercyhurst. That's what's going to be key for Cal on defense. Don't give them any second chances.
Now Ingram inside to Ewing. Ewing now kicks it back out to Ingram. Ingram swings it around to Williams. Williams, Ingram now. He'll reset the offense with 13 to shoot. Ewing, 9 to shoot. Onana trying to run baseline. He gets thwarted by a double team. Hoying now, 2 to shoot. 3 ball, no good. Rebound controlled by California. Jackie Beck flies over the timeline. Here's Cook, baseline, but he gets stopped at the gate by a pair of Laker defenders. There's a 3-ball from Cook. No good. Smith with the rebound, and that's going to be a foul on Mercyhurst.
But great play there by Richard Smith, able to come in and grab this rebound. We have 16:42 to go in the first half. But we'll see if we can find a replay after he takes the shots, or actually we're going to get it right now. So watch this shot. Cook not able to grab it. Richard Smith coming in, almost gets the shot to fall. He's going to go to the line where he is shooting 42% on the season.
And again, it is early, so we take those numbers with a grain of salt. Smith sinks the first one. It is 3-0 California. Foul, by the way, was on James Ewing, his first, team second. And now we are going to see Tony Richardson make his first appearance of the game as Avery Almond takes a seat.
Now you have two big men out there for California as Smith misses the second.
So now it's 3-0 California as Jones gets it over the timeline, swings it over to Bennett. Paris Bennett now in the game for the Lakers. 3-ball by Williams, hits the front of the rim, rebound controlled by Richardson. My goodness, Zach, he is tall.
He is 6'8", second tallest player on this team behind Smith, who's 6'9".
And that's one thing Bill Brown improved upon with this roster, the height advantage that he's hoping to get from the Vulcans as Cook tries to drive the lane, and he's going to draw the foul. We'll see who it is on.
Looks like that's going to be on 32. That's Terrence Ingram. That'll be his first. So 3 Lakers with fouls now. None so far for the Vulcans. We have 16:08 to go. Cook going to the line where he's 78% on the year.
11 for 14 from the foul line is Drew Cook. Make that 12 of 15, 4-0 California. And you'd think it was a baseball score without Dan Altavia pitching for the Lakers.
And the same way it started out in the women's game as Cook makes the second, 5-0. Again, the offense has not been there yet for the Lakers, nearly 4 minutes in.
And now it is Jones, gets it over the timeline. It's over to Williams. Now Hoying. He's got Jones. Jones going one-on-one with Jackie Beck. Now here's Jones going to try to get to the top of the key. Instead he kicks it out now to Ingram. Ingram now over to Jones. Jones, 10 to shoot. Lakers have been taking their time on offense so far. It's down to 6. Jones tried to drive the baseline, and he draws the foul. Looks like it'll be on Jake Jackie Beck. We'll wait for the official call. No, check that on Jabby. It's his first, team third. We will have a timeout on the court with 15:36 left in the first half.
And when I saw that on the box, because I was not able to see it clear vision, on the box, I'm surprised they called that foul because time was running out. I think you would let them play in that scenario, try and see if he could put up a shot. It's not the first time that Mercyhurst has almost run down the clock. As you see some of the replays here, Almond over to Jabby, and Khalil Jabby going to work into the basket, put up the floater, and get the points to fall in. We've only seen 3 more points since then, and they've all been from the free throw line. It's 5-0 Vulcans. And you look at the team leaders so far. Smith, I already mentioned it, rebounds 8.3 a game. He's had a couple big ones so far. Jack Kubik just under 16 points a game. You would love to see him in his junior year start to really up the scoring average. Jabby has 12 assists. Marks with 4 steals. We've not seen him yet. And Khalil Jabby playing just under 33 minutes a game as well.
And Zach, we were noting on that replay, Jabby's only 6 foot tall. Ewing 6'6", the way he handled that height disadvantage, and there you see Mercyhurst's team leaders.
And you have Damon Jones leading 14 points a game. Paris Bennett, the transfer from George Mason, 6.5 rebounds a game. Assists. Mercyhurst pass the ball a lot, but then they try to go one-on-one a lot after they get those passes. So only 4 assists for Ingram. Jones leads the way with steals in 4, and he also leads the way in minutes at 31. So Mercyhurst tries to platoon a lot. We're going to see Sean Bynes, the 6'9" forward, come in for the first time for Mercyhurst. We're also going to see Armand Marks come in for the first time as well, replacing Khalil Jabby.
Armand Marks, a lone senior on this squad, came in last year from James Madison. He's a senior out of Louisville, Kentucky, as Damon Jones will now go to the foul line. And the first shot is good, so the Lakers break the shutout 5-1 now in favor of California. That was only his second foul shot on the year for the junior out of Warrensville, Ohio. Sinks his second, 5-2 California.
And California, they're still up by 2 possessions technically, but it's technically 1 possession in my mind because you can still tie it with a 3-pointer. And now Mercyhurst coming with the full court defense, something we've seen from them throughout the years.
It's been a hallmark of Gary Manchill's tenure as the head honcho in charge of the Lake Show as the Vulcans swing it around now. Jackie back controlling with 15 on the shot clock. Cook's going to try and drive, but instead he's got Armin Marks. Bobbled it for a moment, but now Marks will reset. He'll drive the lane, spin around. No good, but a foul will be called as we'll wait to see who it's on. Looks like it's on Sean Baines, his first. That's team foul number 4 for the Lakers.
And Armin Marks impresses me the most on this team with his ability to go one-on-one against defenders. You look at the replay right there. He had a spin move before that, could not clean up on the score. As he hits the first free throw, as you see the replay there, he's averaging just under 14 points a game, and that's off the bench as the 6th man for this team. You would think as a senior he would start. No, he's that spark off the bench that every team needs, and I love him in that role.
And speaking of off the bench, we're just going to see Dombrowski enter the game for the first time, and Dombrowski will come in for Richard Smith. Dombrowski, the junior out of Shenandoah Heights, and you could make the same argument, that 6th man argument about Tony Richardson, really, as he comes off the bench as well. But nonetheless, we're back to live action as Onana over to Ingram. Ingram now to Bennett. Bennett's going to get a traveling call. You saw some good defense right there by Richardson.
And that's been a hallmark recent years of California. Try and play good defense. They've had a lot of good defensive players in the last few years. Chris Williams comes to mind. Dombrowski out there now.
Now Cook draws a double team, but we have a foul. Looks like it's going to go on Baines. That's his second. Actually, no, I take that back.
That's going to be on Terrence Ingram, number 32. I only saw the ref put up 1 hand, though, so that would be his second foul.
So Ingram's going to take a seat. Baines is going to take a seat. We'll get the new players in just a moment as Jackie back inbounds with a fresh shot clock over to Marks. Marks now over to Cook. Cook back to Marks. Marks.
Something to note, Mercyhurst does have 5 team fouls, so
yes,
only 1 more to give.
And that's big at this early stage in the game as Cook inside to Richardson. Richardson up and in. Tony Richardson powering through that Laker defense. 9-2 California.
And with that move he had, remember, at home, he's only a freshman, so he has room to grow still, and he's playing as well as he has so far.
And now it's Jones who will control the ball for the Lakers. 14 minutes left in the first half as Bennett swings it over to Onana. Onana inside to Andy Hoying. Hoying gets past Dombrowski for his first 2 points of the game.
And he went right behind him. Dombrowski was not looking at him, finding the ball. Hoying went right behind him, straight to the basket. Easy score there.
And now Cook, he'll drive baseline, but he gets thwarted by Jones. Here's Marks. Marks kicks it out to Cook. Cook, jumper, no good. Richardson with a rebound, but he can't control it. Onana with a rebound, and now here come the Lakers. Here is the layup and one by Damon Jones.
Looks like that foul's going to go on Dombrowski. We'll get clarification, and it will. That'll be Dombrowski's first foul. And on that offensive rebound by Tony Richardson that he had on the other end off the missed shot from Drew Cook, I thought he was going to have an easy chance if he could turn around, put it back up and in. But he had the ball stripped from him by Onana. So give him the rebound, but the steal goes to Onana.
And now it's going to be Damon Jones at the foul line to complete the old school 3 after the hoop and the harm. And it is good. 9-6 Lakers, as we're now going to see Khalil Jabby enter the game. Jake Jakubek is going to take a breather.
And the score actually stands at 9-7 after they updated the scoreboard after you gave the score, Crane. So 9-7.
Yes.
Damon Jones with 5 of those points.
And now as Marks brings it. I'm sorry, that was Jabby over to Marks. Now Jabby's going to reset the offense with 13:08 left. Here's Cook now. Cook is going to try and drive, but instead kicks out to Marks. Dombrowski thought about a 3, faked out the defender. Long jumper from inside the key is top of the key rather, no good. Rebound Mercyhurst. Here comes Jones back over the timeline. So California jumped out to a 9-2 lead to the Lakers. 5 straight points as Hoying over the 3-ball, in and out by Williams, and the rebound goes out of bounds. California ball.
And it went out of bounds. Believe it might have been Terrence Ingram who was down there, or Paris Bennett. I thought I saw a 30-something, but Cook, good.
It would have been Ingram because Bennett's on the bench.
Okay, thank you. But Cook, good ability to try and fight for that rebound against a much taller player than he is. That's the fight I want to see from California all season. I know it's only the first game we've seen, but I want to see a little bit more fight this year than what we saw in 2013, 2014.
And here's inside the Richardson now. Richardson with a spin move and the jumper. Tony Richardson, 4 points.
I know I've seen maybe 5 minutes of him play, but ooh, I'm excited to see him play this season. I'm glad he's only a freshman and not a transfer senior or something like that. Give me all the time to watch him because he's really good so far.
And here's Ingram now, kicks it out to Jones. Williams now, he'll drive baseline. Jumper, rims, not even close. Rebound controlled by Cook. Cook flies down the court timeline inside the Richard Smith. What an impressive pass by Cook. And Richard Smith finishes up.
And that one almost actually rimmed out. I was thinking, oh my gosh, how does that rim out? In that instance, he had such a nice move. You got to give him that basket. It ends up falling, and we have a foul down on the floor.
And a foul looks like it's going to be on Richard Smith. That's his first. Timeout on the court, 11:34 left in the first half. Your score, California 13, Mercyhurst 7. This is California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. California leading Mercyhurst 13-7 with 11:34 left in the first half, and we're going to see the ball's going to be inbounded by Paris Bennett on the non-shooting foul. Swings it out to Onana. I do not believe he has attempted a shot so far in the first 8 minutes of this contest. Onana will control it, hands it off to Williams. There's a kick out. Ingram 3-ball, no good. Rebound by Richard Smith. And very quickly, Avery Allman gets called for traveling after an impressive pass by Khalil Jabby. Turnover, California.
And that was an unfortunate turnover because that was a very quick pass to Jabby down low to Allman. He was under a bit of traffic, though, so I'd expect him to slow it down and find someone else. So I think California had a chance to score on that possession, but it just comes up with a turnover.
Yeah, the happy feet not making Bill Brown. Brown happy, excuse me.
There's a rebound there, as I'll let Creighton let you get the cough bug out of your throat there.
Yeah, my apologies. First game of the season. A little rusty, but in any event, California now controlling with 10:44 left in the first half as it's Jabby. Kicks out, 3-ball, marks, bang!
What a pass from Khalil Jabby. Oh my goodness. That pass came from behind his back almost, it looked like, finding Marks wide open. Ooh.
It is 16-7, California. As there is Ewing, jumper, layup is good.
And that's Ewing's first 2 points. It stands 16-9. California now with a 7-point advantage. We see Jabby over in the far corner. Give it to Jakubic for a 3.
Bang! My apologies, folks. For whatever reason, my throat's really getting in my throat here. I blame the cold, but nonetheless, 19-9 California.
That's 6 points in 2 possessions. Now you're seeing the 3-point shooting start to heat up instead of going down low to Richardson and Smith.
So many ways to kill you as this Vulcans offense has, and marks the rebound over to Jabby. 9:32 left in the first half. California with a 10-point lead. See several substitutions forthcoming for the Lakers.
It's going to be tipped off of Avery Allman and go out of bounds. You see the trio of subs coming in. You have Hoying, Jones, and Paris Bennett coming in. You're going to see Williams, Bynes, and it looks like it might be Ingram checking out. Actually, no, Ingram is going to stay in. I did not see the other sub.
Well, either way, Gary Manchill, wholesale substitutions. It's Ewing is out, Williams is out, and Baines is out. So we are back to live action as Damon Jones now controlling. Over to the far corner to Ingram. Ingram now over to Bennett. Bennett swings it around now Jones controls it with 9 minutes left. Jones over to Ingram. Ingram, Onana into the far corner. Driving baseline is Damon Jones. Shot way off. Bennett with the easy layup. 19-11 California.
And Richard Smith just was not able to control that rebound. It slipped out of his arm right into Paris Bennett. Easy layup opportunity there.
And here's Jakubic. He'll swing it over to Jabby. Jabby now over to Smith. 3 ball. No good. Rebound Richardson. Stripped away by Bennett. That was a clean strip by the grad student from Jersey. And here's a Hoying in the corner now. Kicks it back out to Ingram.
And I was surprised with the no call down there, but when I think about it, it's a good no call in my opinion. Let him play. You have 8:12 left to go.
And to be fair, Zach, I thought Bennett did have all ball as it is deflected by Smith, and there's the turnover by the Lakers. Here's Jabby, kicks out. Marks thought about a 3, but he had Bennett in his grill. And now Jabby slipped, turnover controlled by the Lakers, and now the ball, Ingram can't handle the pass from Jones. Timeout on the court with 7:54 left in the first half.
And it's been a series of turnovers recently now. The score still stands 19-11 Vulcans, and I don't want to say I'm surprised at the way the Vulcans have come out, but I'm surprised at the score. I thought Mercyhurst had a little bit more offense. Tony Richardson, I'll tell you what, he's impressed me the most, getting those offensive rebounds, getting the ability to go back in and score. And when you look at the defensive end, Smith, Richardson have been there. That time, Dombrowski was not able to keep with Andy Hoying, and then Damon Jones going in, and Dombrowski had the foul. So Dombrowski had a defensive lapse at one point. However, when you look at it, California on the defensive end has been very good so far tonight, only limiting the Lakers to 11 points with under 8 minutes to go. You look at the stat rankings, Mercyhurst is 15th in the PSAC in scoring, and we're seeing that tonight. Cal is 5th. Scoring defense, though, California's defense has played a lot better than what their stats would say through the first 3 games, and margin, California has outscored their opponents, the 7th best mark in the conference. Right now, it's an 8-point lead. Leading the way for the Vulcans is Armand Marks with 5, Richardson with 4, Smith and Jakubic both have 3, and on the other end for the Lakers, Damon Jones, has 5.
We were noting that opening season tournament at the start of the broadcast. Zach, California beat Johnson C. Smith out of the CIAA by 6. That game was played at Memorial Fieldhouse last Friday, but they lost to Urbana by 1 point. That was Urbana's first regular season win in quite some time, as we are back to live action as Jakubic now drives. Cook now in control with 7:39 left. Cook trying to go baseline, but he's being closely guarded. 3 ball by Cook, no good. Rebound by Richard Smith. And now Cook again, 3 ball, bang! Drew Cook, 5 points.
And this has become an 11-point lead now for the Vulcans. These leads are something we really did not see a lot last season. So if California can continue this kind of play, it'll be exciting to see what we can see from them this season.
And it sounds like they have a chip on their shoulder after being picked 7th in the PSAC preseason poll. Here's Onana. Kicks it out now to Williams. Now it'll be Ingram. Resets the offense. 8 to shoot. Onana kicks it out to Bennett. Bennett's shot way wide. Rebound by Jabby. Jabby on the fast break. And he draws the foul.
And Jabby tumbling on the floor as well. And on that shot by Ingram, he completely missed everything. So even if California did not get the rebound, it could have been a shot clock violation. As you see here, looks like it might be Gary Williams or possibly Onana on the foul. They're going to give it to Onana. That'll be his first. And we have not called Onana's name on scoring yet.
And there's a monster slam by Tony Richardson.
2 points.
We have officials have it looks like we're going to have a substitution on a possible injury. Ingram's going out. Jones is coming in, but Richard Smith bringing the elevation.
And that was actually Tony Richardson.
Sorry.
It's going to get confusing. Richard Smith, Richardson. We'll get it worked out. It's still only first game of the year. But it looks like Ingram might have gotten some blood on his face, and that's why he had to leave.
We have not called Onana's name. He only has 1 rebound and 1 assist. Has not attempted a shot yet in this game, as now it is Williams. In the far corner, over to Hoying. Hoying kicks it out to Williams. Williams now inside. And the shot by Jones is no good, and there's the rebound by Jones. It's now an 11-point lead, 6:15 left.
Great defense on the first attempt by Richard Smith to get a hand up there, and it kind of thwarted the shot a little bit. But big offensive rebound for the Lakers to keep this within an 11-point lead.
California looks like they're rotating a 3-2 zone there, and now it's over. I'm sorry, that was their offense. Well, yeah, we are a little rusty, Zach, to be perfectly frank, and it's Cook now out to Jackie Beck. Jackie Beck kicks it out to Jabby. Jackie Beck. Jackie Beck's going to try and drive 2 to shoot. Oh. And the alley-oop by Richard Smith.
My goodness.
Wow.
This offense is exciting right now. Timeout by Mercyhurst with 5:35 to go. Oh my goodness. That's 2 dunks in the span of about a minute and a half. And I think that first one was nice. That second one, I think Richard Smith and Tony Richardson this year are going to have a battle of who can dunk it better than the other one. Watch on this replay. The elevation, 6'9", big slam, 13-point lead.
And that,
my goodness.
And that was an impressive pass by Jake Jackiebeck. So that's his second assist on the game, but you look at the scoring so far, very balanced. Cook has 5, Smith has 5, Richardson with 6. It's just, that was the balance we saw last week against, this past Monday rather, against Penn State Fayette, and now you're seeing it against a very good Mercyhurst team.
And it's something we did not see last season. Really, California relied on one guy every game to try and get the scoring started. Now that you have players that can score when they want and at will and get into some balance, that's going to make their team a lot better.
It's pick your poison time. As Williams now kicks it out to Jones. Jones will reset the offense with 10 seconds left to shoot. Onana drives the baseline, but he's going to, no shot attempt. That's going to be a foul on Jackie Beck, his first.
And we're going to see Ewing come in for Mercyhurst and Daniel Sapp come in for his first appearance today for Drew Cook.
Daniel Sapp, a freshman out of Streetsboro, Ohio, outside of Cleveland. He was part of a 4x200 meter relay team that finished 7th in the state meet in Ohio last year. So he's got some quickness to him.
Yeah, and speed is something that can really kill on a basketball court. If you can get from one end to the other faster than the other team, of course you're going to have opportunities to score.
Yes, you will, as the Vulcans now settle into a 2-3 zone. Oh, and that's Bennett. Bennett tried to spin around, instead kicks it out. 3 ball by Williams, bang. 10-point California lead.
And it's still a 10-point lead, though. So California, they can relax a little bit and not have to force anything on the offensive end. And that's what I've seen so far. They're not forcing anything like they did last year. They're slowing it down. They're waiting for a guy to get open.
We're seeing a lot of slowdowns from both sides this evening as Jackie Beck kicks it out to Jabby. And inside the Jackie Beck, he's going to draw the foul. It'll be on Bennett. That is his first. Team foul number 8. So Jackie Beck The Struthers sharpshooter will go to the line for 2.
And Tony Richardson, I know we've called his name a lot, but it's because of his play now. Not only can he score and dunk and rebound, he can pass the ball pretty well too.
Jakubek hits the first one. He has 4 points now, and I think that's something else we've seen so far, Zach. A lot, it's just better passing. They're controlling the ball better, as you were saying, and it's just very exciting to watch as Jakubek sinks them both.
And you don't need a dunk every time. Yeah, we're going to get excited when there's a big dunk and a big 3, but if you get the 2 points and you have some nice crisp passing, that wins games too.
And we have a foul. That's going to be Jakubek's second, so it looks like he may have to take a seat with 4:10 left.
The only person that's fouled out so far for California this season was Drew Cook. He fouled out of 1 game. I forget which game it was, so you'll have to look that up for me. But Jakubek with the most foul trouble at 2 now.
Now Hoying will control it. Lakers get a fresh shot clock with about 4 minutes left. Williams, 3-ball, bang! Back-to-back trifectas from Dre Williams Jr. out of Aberdeen, Maryland.
And if he starts getting hot from distance, that's going to be the way that the Lakers can come back in this one, even though you're still down by 9.
Now there is plenty of basketball left as Richardson, and that's going to be a traveling call on Jake Jakubek. Timeout on the court with 3:46 left. Your score, California 28, Mercyhurst 19. This is California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
Welcome back to the Convocation Center. California leading 28-19 over the Lakers of Mercyhurst. Exciting first week up, or first set of divisional games here at the PSAC West. And tonight's game here at the Convocation Center, no exception, as it is Beans, baseline, able to get through the defense and score. It is now a 7-point California lead.
And that's his first 2 of the night. He comes in averaging 6.5, so not getting the offense rolling yet. Let's see if California can respond.
And now we see Sapp. Dombrowski now marks, thought about a 3, but he was closely guarded by Ewing. And now inside Dombrowski, what a pass. Sapp gonna get called for the offensive foul.
And we'll have to look at the replay if we have it. That'll be his first foul. But again, great passing by the Vulcans on that series. You went from Javi to Dombrowski to Sapp in a matter of seconds. That's the kind of passing that wins games. Getting defenders off their feet and kind of tripping over themselves and opening up some lanes.
And now the Lakers with a chance to make it a 5-point lead, or possibly 4, as Bynes gets it in, and he does make it a 5-point lead. He now has 4 points on the game.
And we're going to see Richardson check back in a moment. I think he's been the spark plug for the offense for California. He needs someone else to get going, and we've seen a lot of people start to cool off.
There's Dombrowski over to Javi, swings it out to Sapp. Now Javi kicks it back out to Sapp. Sapp tried to go baseline, but got thwarted. 3-ball by Marks, no good. Rebound by Bynes.
And I thought that 3-ball was about to go in, just rim off. Thought it looked good from the angle we're at.
And now it's going to be Jones. Hoying now controlling. 2 minutes and 10 seconds left in the first half. Williams, 3-ball, air ball, and it's now kept alive. Jones drives the lane, Offensive foul by Damon Jones. That is team foul number 9.
And that's Josh Dombrowski down there taking that charge. Great play by the junior from Shenandoah Heights. He's going to check out. Sapp's going to check out. We're going to see Richardson and Drew Cook come back in for the Vulcans.
2 minutes remain in the first half. California leading 28-23. Here's Cook. Over to Marks. Marks thought about driving lane, but he instead kicks it out to Smith. Smith over to Chavy. And the ball looked like it went out of bounds off of Jones. Vulcans will inbound with 1:43 left in the first half, 16 on the shot clock.
And something I've seen out of Richard Smith, the more that they go down the offensive end, he is playing outside on the perimeter. They're playing 4 high, 1 low. If Smith can get the 3-ball going, he's going to be a very good offensive threat.
Marks now drives, top of the key, jumper, good. Armin Marks banks it in, 7-point Vulcan lead.
7 for Marks now. He is the leading scorer for the Vulcans in what has been balance again on the offensive end.
Now here's Bynes. Williams now controlling it, 1:13 left. Inside now to Ewing. Ewing rejected by Tony Richardson. Tony Richardson, a second-team All-State player in Virginia, Loudoun County, to be exact, as we have a couple substitutions for the Lakers. We'll get that in a moment, and they'll have 16 to shoot, will the Lakers, as Williams in the corner now. Bennett. Onana, traveling violation. This has just not been Jean Onana's night.
And it hasn't been his year yet. I know we're only about 3 games in, but I was looking at his stats today. He's shooting 20% coming in. A lot of his points have come from the free throw line. He's not having a good start to his junior year. Usually you hear of a sophomore slump. Last year he was their leading scorer. Coming out this year, he's kind of slumped a little bit.
And Marks drives. Here's Cook now controlling. 45 seconds left. There's Richardson drives, draws the foul. That's going to be on Bennett, his second. Zach, getting back to that point for a moment. You wonder how much of an impact having with Wenyan and some of the other veterans now graduating. Now it's basically Onana's team. Would that be a fair assessment?
I would assess that, yes. I think him and Ewing are really the faces of this team. As Richardson going to the line, he's 41% on the year.
He gets the members bounce, 7 points now.
And when you look at Mercyhurst's roster, I mentioned it before, there's a lot of turnover this year. We have even seen some players not check in that I've expected to see play. Maybe Ian Hale or Danny Moyer, guys that have been here a while to play.
And Richardson will split the foul shots. Rebound controlled by Mercyhurst. Another player missing, Callan Daly. The senior, he has not played in the game yet this year, so you wonder if there's injury issues with the Lakers as we're 30 seconds remaining. 7 seconds between the game clock and the shot clock. Williams, 3-ball, no good. Rebound is controlled by Jabby. Shot clock is off. Vulcans may try and hold for the final shot.
And they can take a double-digit lead into halftime. That would be big for the Vulcans. I'm sure they were not favored to win this game. They were not favored to even make the playoffs in the PSAC preseason. What we've seen the first 20 minutes has been great so far.
3 seconds. Jabby drives the lane, jumper. Oh, the missed alley-oop by Richard Smith. But we are at halftime. Your score, California 31, Mercyhurst 23. We'll have second half action for you coming up on CUTV Sports.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to make a wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center at California University. Vulcans leading Mercyhurst 31-23 rather. Zach, let's take a look at some halftime stats.
And when we look at the halftime stats, everything really in favor of California, except for turnovers, but it's only a difference of 1, so it hasn't really shown up on the scoreboard yet. Shooting at 50%, 80% from the free throw line. That's a really big improvement from what we saw in the tail of the tape. 15 rebounds, a lot of those coming from Tony Richardson and Richard Smith. And the score, of course, that's the most important part. California having a halftime lead against the Lakers. Like I said, in the playoff game that they had against them last year, they just weren't able to finish it out. If the offense can keep it going the way it has, passing the ball with such efficiency, I think they come out of here with a win. But we still have 20 minutes of play left. And the first half was very exciting.
Yeah, here are some of those halftime highlights.
And we'll look right here. Drew Cook, this first one, going over to Richard Smith. He's going to be able to put it in for the layup. Richard Smith, he's had himself a good night. He has 5 points on the game. On the defensive end, James Ewing able to get one in for Mercyhurst. That's his only 2 points tonight. Then Jack Ubick. Nice alley-oop action to Richard Smith. All of us down here on Announcers Row, myself, you, Matt Hagan, Coach, we almost fell out of our chairs when that one happened. And then Dre Williams getting a big 3-ball to go. He has had a couple of those 6 points so far tonight. He was shooting 33% from 3 for the game. On the defensive end, it needs to clean up a little bit for California, but you look at the offense, Armand Marks, 2 of his 7, which is tied for the team lead with Tony Richardson. It's been a balanced attack so far for the Vulcans. We keep seeing that in the second half. I think you're going to see a Vulcan win to start the PSAC conference season.
And we were talking about the start of the conference play. There are a few other games going on tonight. First, we want to welcome our America One audience to the broadcast. For the benefit of those of you watching live on America One, we have some halftime scores. Gannon and Slippery Rock tied 26-all at the Hammermill Center. Edinburgh, California's next opponent, leading Seton Hill 50-32 in Greensburg, and UPJ leading Clarion 45-34. Vulcans will face Edinburgh this Saturday at Macomb Fieldhouse.
And the last time the Vulcans went up there, they were up to a big lead. I think at one point it was near 20. And then Edinburgh caught on fire from distance, and they ended up coming back to win. And that was a heartbreaking loss for California, even though they snuck in the playoffs.
And I believe it was Ryan Terrio with a game-winning shot. But nonetheless, we are back to live action here as Mercyhurst inbounds. Start the second half here is Damon Jones. Over to Andy Hoying. And now there's the circus shot by Damon Jones, and the Lakers strike first.
And Damon Jones now has a team high and leading score 9 in this game. No one else from Mercyhurst has more than 6, and that's Dre Williams.
And most noteworthy, a great big goose egg for Jean Onana. We have not called his name much today.
Yeah, like I said, it's just not been the start of the year he was definitely hoping for.
And there's a steal by Ewing. Ewing drives, kicks it out to Hoying. Now here comes Jones. Jones with the jumper, that's no good. The rebound is scooped up by Ewing and laid in.
And that's the Laker defense we've come to know over the past couple of years. Quickly, just like that, it's a 4-point game.
And there's Richard Smith wide open on the deep pass that would make James Harris proud. It's a 6-point California lead.
And now Richard Smith with 7 ties, or actually he takes over the lead with Armand Marks and Tony Richardson.
All 7s for Marks, Richardson, and Smith. As Hoying, 3-ball, no good. It's the front of the rim, and the rebound is controlled by Dombrowski after it gets deflected away. Smith is now going to swing it out to Jabby. Jabby drives the baseline, kicks it out. He's going to get called, looks like, for an offensive foul.
An interesting call there as they were both kind of up in the air. It's offensive fouls are always kind of ticky-tacky sometimes. We'll see here on the replay, though. Jabby, he's trying to go around Damon Jones, and then he finds Hoying. Hoying, well, that was close, but it did look like he set his feet.
Yeah, I mean, his right foot didn't look completely set, but to be fair, the officials have they're right there. We're a bit of a distance away as we are back to live action. Here's Williams, kicks it out. Onana spins around, drives the lane, kicks it out to Hoying. Hoying over to Williams. And that California defense has been keying in on Onana all game long as they go back to a man-to-man defense. Jones kicks it out. Onana, long two. That's good. Sean Onana with his first 2 points of the game.
And that three, I thought if he took it, it was definitely going to get blocked. A very smart veteran move to be able to come back and go for the two instead.
And he juked out Jackie back there, but nonetheless, here's Cook, drives the lane. He throws it to, there's a scrum for the ball. It's controlled by Jackie Beck. Jackie Beck now over to Jabby. We have a timeout called by California.
And on that play, it looked like Jackie was expecting the pass to come right to him. It missed him, and he just stood there waiting for Jabby to come and grab it. Very close play there. Just a little bit of lapse in concentration in that time. California's still up by 4. They got to be careful because in this half, the Lakers have already scored nearly a quarter of the points they did in the first half. As right now, we're going to go ahead and look at the CUTV Sports YouTube page where you can see highlights of this game and the full game recap in about a couple days or so when it'll be uploaded to our YouTube page at CUTV Sports 1. We'll have all the PSAC West basketball games on there as far as both of these teams go. Recently we had the PCN championships, volleyball, football. Basketball is the main sport right now that we do in the winter though, so it's going to be all hoops all the time coming up on that YouTube page.
You made KQV very proud with that one, Zach. And also our News Center channel on YouTube. And this actually extends to a full timeout, so we'll keep you there for just a moment. And you know, speaking of YouTube, you can watch it anywhere around the country and around the world. We know we saw a lot of the news reports out of Buffalo, New York, as you see head coach Bill Brown. And you know, they've been hit with at least 6 feet of snow up there in the Buffalo area. Our CUTV alum Andy Walter, he's not from Buffalo, but he lives reasonably close to there, so we're certainly hoping he's okay. And we're certainly sending our thoughts and prayers out to people in Buffalo and Western New York after that massive snowstorm. As we're about to get back to live action, here is Jabby inbounds to Jackie Beck. So California hoping they can capitalize coming out of the timeout. Looks like Richardson will be checking back in shortly, and Allman is going to get called for traveling. Took a step or two back, and right on cue, here comes Richardson as Allman takes a seat.
And Avery Allman, he started this game. He's not really done anything tonight. He's had a couple travel calls against him, and the way Tony Richardson has been playing, I'm not advocating for Allman to be taken out of the starting lineup, but if you want Richardson getting more minutes, maybe you slide him in the starting lineup for a couple games here and there.
And there's Hoying now. Inside now to Ewing. Ewing, jumper no good. Here's the rebound by Jones. He draws a foul. It's going to be on Jackie Beck, his third.
And Jackie Beck, he needs to start watching the fouls. He has 5 points. Such a big offensive threat, averaging about 16 coming in. 3 fouls. He's 2 away from having to sit out of this game, and it looks like we're going to see Armand Marks probably check in for him.
So now Jones is at the foul line. He misses the first. He had gone 3 for 3 from the foul line, so now that's his first miss for the junior out of Warrensville, Ohio.
And every missed free throw in this half is going to be big
to
both sides.
Absolutely. Jones splits the foul shots. It's a 3-point California lead as Drew Cook looks for someone to inbound. Full court pressure there by the Lakers as Jabby getting double teamed by Onana and Williams. Richardson went for the ball. It's stolen by Ewing. Ewing's going to control it and just credit the double team and the pressure by Mercyhurst.
And Jabby just had to throw it away and hope someone on his team is going to be able to come and grab it. But in that instance, the full court press was too much.
And Richardson was there, but Ewing just swiped it. So now with 16:30 left in the first half, Jones will reset the offense with 13 to shoot. There's a long jumper by Onana. And now it's a 1-point Mercyhurst lead, 16-15 left to play in regulation. And now we have a timeout called by California.
It's 33-32, California, 16-14 to go. And just like that, the Vulcans' 8-point lead has turned into 1. So California, their offense just has not gotten it going. The defensive pressure from Mercyhurst has been too much. And I thought that Mercyhurst, if they were going to come back, they would have to play defense because their offense is not suited for a comeback mentality. It's the defense that helps them be able to do that. And you need to find a spark plug in the offense if you're California to be able to feed the ball to them and start saying, hey, go score some points, whether it's Richardson or Marks or Smith, Jabby and Cook who are out there. One of them has to start getting it going and find a hot hand.
They got to beat that Mercyhurst defense because we saw a lot of full court press by the Lakers on the inbounds by California. So now it'll be Cook inbounding. Resetting quickly, it is Cook, Jabby, Marks, Smith, and Richardson for the Vulcans. Ewing, Jones, Williams, pulling Onana, and there's another missed dunk by Smith. Richardson with a rebound. He's going to draw the foul. It'll go against Dre Williams.
And that was a big opportunity there. Richard Smith, he's whiffed on 2 alley-oops, made 1. Now, you can't always go down there and do the alley-oop, and it's a very nice play, but just not able to control the ball enough. Good rebound there by Tony Richardson, though, and he's going to go to the line for 2.
It's Richardson's 3rd rebound of the game as he split an earlier pair of foul shots in the first half. 16:01 left in regulation. First one is missed.
So that lead stays at 1 for California, 33-32. You see Richardson, the freshman from Sterling, Virginia. I mentioned before, Bill Brown is very high on this kid, and we can see why. He's come out here. He's been a very good young piece that can be placed into the lineup by Coach Brown.
Baines, Ingram, and Bennett re-enter the game, and that second one airballs. So Mercyhurst now with a chance to retake the lead. 16 minutes left to play. And here's Onana, hands it off to Williams. Bennett now. Thought about going inside, but he's got no one to throw to. As now Ingram will now try and drive. He's being closely guarded by Cook. Williams over to Onana. 8 to shoot. Off of the foot and stolen by Cook. And he's going to draw the foul and 1. Drew Cook, hoop and harm, foul on Terrence Ingram. That'll be his 3rd. We will have a timeout on the court. Vulcans now with a chance to make it a 4-point game when they come out of this timeout.
And that was actually a lucky break that they let the play continue and say, okay, you're in the middle of your shot. If you make it, we'll count it for you. So Drew Cook now with 7 points. Well, look here. On the pass, Onana trying to find Williams and hitting off his foot. I'm surprised there's no kick ball violation on that one. Cook gets the foul called on Ingram, just throws it up, and it happens to roll in. Getting the 2 points, could make it 3 when he goes to the line where he's shooting 79% on the year.
And you hear the crowd behind us, the CalU cheerleaders, the ice cream scream. During the women's game, the CalU dance team handled it. And
we already looked at the YouTube page for CUTV. The best way to interact with us, though, is at our Twitter page, at CUTV_PA. We'll be able to get back to you probably a little bit faster than if you were able to go watch on our YouTube page. You'll be able to see where we're going that day for our shoots. We already mentioned we have Edinburgh coming up this week. Let's look at some of the highlights. Damon Jones, he's been the key guy for Mercyhurst, 10 points. Richard Smith, 7. There's 4 players out there for the Vulcans that have 7 points each. And Onana, he started getting going. He has 4 points himself. So shutout in the first half, 4 here in the second. Here's the other 2 of the 4 points that he has in the game. As we're about to see Drew Cook go to the line for 1.
Cook will have the chance. The reigning PSAC West Freshman of the Year, sophomore now out of Beaver Falls, will have the chance to complete the old school 3 with 15:29 left in regulation. And he misses it. Rebound controlled by Bennett. Mercyhurst has not led in this game, nor have they tied this game. So big possession here for the Lakers as it's kicked out to Ingram. Ingram will reset the offense. Ingram now kicks it over to Williams. Inside to Bennett. Bennett baseline. And he gets the friendly roll. Richardson was trying to swat it away, but unsuccessful.
And that's 4 for Paris Bennett. Now the transfer from George Mason. He averages 11 a game.
And now Jabby will send it over to Cook. Vulcans up by 1. Here's Marks. Cook kicks it out to Jabby. Marks back over to Jabby. Jabby going to drive. Smith's got it, loses control for a moment, and the way out deep pass to Marks. Jabby, 3 to shoot, 2 to shoot, and the offensive foul on Khalil Jabby.
And that's his 3rd foul of the game. And I kind of motioned you, hey, there's 3 seconds on the shot clock. They need to get something off. And now, with this possession, the Mercyhurst Lakers could take the lead. Look at the replay here. Jabby. Oh, Bynes was not set on that one. I don't agree with the official's call right there. Bynes moved right as Jabby was running into him. That should have been a blocking foul.
So now the Lakers are going to try and take advantage of the gift. There's the jumper by Bennett, is way off the mark. Rebound control by the Vulcans. Here's Cook. Cook's going to try and drive the baseline, but he gets thwarted by the double team. And now Jabby. Jabby's going to drive the lane. Over 3 Laker defenders goes Khalil Jabby, his 4th point of the game.
Nice shot there, too. He just kind of threw it up, and a nice floater into the bucket. So Vulcans extend their lead back out to 3.
And sometimes, I guess, better to be lucky than good, as Baines, baseline rejected by Smith, controlled by Richardson, rather. And here come the Vulcans. Jabby flies over the court. Cook in the far corner. Cook tried to go baseline. Pass to, ball's controlled by Smith, but it goes well out of bounds. Lakers with possession.
And that one, it looked like Cook was, or Richard Smith was going to try and grab it and have an opportunity to send it to Cook. But he actually sent it out of bounds over in the stands towards us. So the Vulcans, they get an opportunity to extend their lead. They're just not able to on that one with 13:35 to go.
And now we're going to see Daniel Sapp back in the game as Jakubek takes a breather. Here's Onana being closely guarded by Marks. Now kicks out to Ingram. Jones will now reset the offense with 18 to shoot. 13-16 left in regulation. California with a 3-point lead. Bennett loses control of the ball, but he's going to draw the foul. And that is going to be on Armin Marks, his first. Team foul number 4.
And now California this half, they have to start watching the fouls. The first half, it was Mercyhurst who was getting in the foul trouble very early on. California now with 14 fouls. Mercyhurst only with 2, conversely. So they've started to clean up their act. The Vulcans have to play a little bit more clean defense.
And now Ingram's going to send it out to Bynes. 3 ball is off the front of the rim by Bennett. Rebound controlled by Marks. Marks flies over the timeline. Draws the defenders there. Now it's Richardson. He's going to draw the foul. It'll be on Bennett. That'll be his 3rd.
Foul number 33, Paris Bennett.
So California now will inbounds just to our left as Trey Williams re-enters the game as Onana heads to the bench for a breather. Cook inbounds, sends it out to Smith. Now over to Marks. Marks kicks it out to Cook. Cook over to Daniel Sapp now. Sapp, Marks. Marks drives the baseline. Shot, jumper, good. Armin Marks with the mid-range jumper, 5-point Vulcan lead.
A nice move there. He didn't push off. The guy just fell back, and he spun around right at the charity stripe, put it in. 9 points for Marks now.
That is a fortuitous break, to be honest, Zach. I thought there was a push-off, but nonetheless, 3 ball by Baines is no good. Rebound controlled by Richardson. Over to Cook. Cook, Marks. Smith, now Richardson draws a foul. It'll be on Sean Baines, his 2nd. 12-14 left in regulation. We're going to see wholesale substitutions for the Lakers in just a moment.
You're going to see Hoying, Ewing, and it looks like Onana coming to the game. right there. Nice feed to Richardson. He's just double teamed, and Bynes coming up with the foul on that one. You're going to see Richardson go to the line where last time he missed both. The second one was an air ball. We actually see that a lot in the NBA as well, so not just the young kids that do it.
He's 1 for 4 from the foul line so far tonight. 2 for 5 now, as it's now a 6-point California lead. You see Bynes is going to take a seat, as will Ingram. And I thought I saw 3 guys on the Mercyhurst bench. I think Bennett might have also stepped out. Well, in any event, we'll reset the lineup in a moment as Richardson sinks a second. 41-34, California leads with 12:13 left in regulation.
And California, their last few offensive opportunities have been able to extend that lead. That's very good for them. With 12:05 left, you need all the time you can have to be able to play with the lead, because now we're going to get Richardson on the foul call.
And that is Richardson's first 15th foul for the Vulcans. 12:04 left in regulation. So the Lakers will get a fresh 35 seconds on the shot clock, as it's Ewing now over to Jones. Now out to Williams. Williams hoying now. Back to Jones on the far corner, in front of the Lakers bench. Jones thought about driving, but he gets thwarted by Drew Cook. Here's Onana with the long jumper. That is good. Sean Onana now with 6 points. Lakers cut the lead to 5.
And he had some hesitation on that shot. I thought it was going to be a little off because he was kind of fading away, shooting off his back foot, but he had it nice and perfect, nothing but net.
So now it'll be Sapp over to Marks. Marks, he will drive, send it over to Sapp. Now Cook in the corner. Cook inside to Smith. Smith out to Sapp. Sapp loses control of the ball. Stolen away by Williams. It's 1-on-1, and Williams with the layup flies past Armin Marks. 3-point Vulcans lead.
And Armin Marks right there just could not keep up with the speed of Williams. Very fast player, the transfer from Cloud County, Kansas Community College. He's only a junior too.
There's a jumper by Marks. That in and out. Rebound by Ewing. Jones with the spectacular layup, and California calls timeout with 10:47 left. This will be a 30-second timeout, so we're going to keep it here.
And California right now, the defensive end, it just has not been there. The transition defense, at least. You see Onana there, the hesitation, getting the shot to be able to fall in. And then the transition, right there, Williams flying by Armand Marks. And then on another opportunity right here, Damon Jones just evading Cook and Armand Marks. So from a 7-point lead to a 1-point lead, it just matters of seconds.
And that was the play that precipitated the timeout. And well, with 10:47 left in regulation, Zach, there's the old saying. I said this on radio earlier, and now we're going to say it again, as we have a slight delay, as I guess the dance team thought it was a full timeout, but in fact it was only a 30-second timeout. So we are going to have Jackie back inbound to our right, and Mercyhurst going with a full court pressure once again. Jabby, Marks, Jackie Beck. They just cannot find anybody inside. Now Jackie Beck will control. 10:30 remaining in regulation. Here's Marks, drives, draws a double team, kicks it out to Jabby. Jabby. 3-ball by Marks, no good. Richardson with a rebound, and Richardson draws a foul, and that foul is going to be on Williams. That's his second timeout on the court. 10:19 left. Your score: California 41, Mercyhurst 40. This is California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.
We have so much to celebrate in Division II, but we're especially proud of our commitment to Make-A-Wish.
Division II student athletes have led a 10-year initiative to raise funds and help grant wishes of children with life-threatening medical conditions.
Nearly $3 million have been raised, and hundreds of children's wishes have been granted.
We play hard, we work hard, and we support others in need. Why? It's simple.
Because we care.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center. Mercyhurst head coach Gary Manchell has to be pleased with the way his Lakers are performing in the second half, as Tony Richardson will go to the line to shoot 2. And Mercyhurst now 16 fouls, 1 away from giving California the bonus, as Richardson will hit the first one, gets the friendly bounce.
And that puts Richardson into double digits. He's the first Vulcan to eclipse double digits. The leading scorer in the game overall is Damon Jones with 12 for the Lakers.
And now here's Richardson. Splits the foul shots. Rebound controlled by Ewing. Here's Damon Jones now over the timeline as the Vulcans have a 2-point lead with a little over 10 minutes remaining in regulation. Now here's Onana, one-on-one with Armin Marks. Onana kicks it out to Jones. Jones will reset the offense with 15 to shoot. Here's Onana, 10 to shoot. Onana over to Ewing. Ewing now Hoying. Hoying kicks it out. Williams, 3-ball, bang! And Mercyhurst takes the lead for the first time tonight.
That's 11 now for Dre Williams. And now you're going to have a foul against Gene Onana. That will be his second, sending Jabby to the line, where on the year he is 85%.
It'll be a 1-and-1 as Vulcans are now in the bonus. I think the officials trying to get some clarification over from the scorer's table, and are they? No, they're saying that is 16 fouls on Mercyhurst. Apparently an error on the scoreboard. So it is now. So that is not the 1-and-1. We went by what was shown on the scoreboard, but it is in fact team foul number 6 for the Lakers. So it'll be an inbound for the Vulcans. They will have the bonus on the next Mercyhurst foul. Marks. Jabby now. Mercyhurst putting the pressure on the Vulcans. There's a long jumper by Marks. That's no good. What a rebound by Richard Smith. Jabby. Jakubek now. There's Jabby. And there's Richardson. Richardson jumper. No good. Rebound by Ewing.
And that drive, or that series, excuse me, all really started because of that offensive rebound from Richard Smith, ripping out of his hands. And now you're going to have a carry by Damon Jones, giving the Vulcans the ball right back.
Yeah, you got it. That 6'9" height advantage by Richard Smith, I mean, we certainly comes in quite handy for California. And meanwhile, it is going to be Jakubek over to Marks. That is 3 offensive rebounds, 5 total for Richard Smith, the junior out of Cleveland, as Jabby. Marks now drives the lane, spins around, no good, and there's a foul on the play. That'll be on Williams. That is his 3rd, and now it's Mercyhurst's 7th team foul, but Marks will get 2 shots.
Yeah, they'll say it was shooting foul, so Armand Marks, the senior, the lone senior on this team from Louisville, Kentucky, transferred from James Madison. He was a former Duke. Now comes here. He was one of the leading scorers for the Vulcans last season. He hits the first one there.
I believe you were saying Mark's a very good foul shooter. Actually, he was 8 for 13 entering today's game. That's his 3rd foul shot of the game. And he splits the foul shots, tie game. That could be costly, Zach.
Now we saw the one game that reminds me most of Armor Marks missing a free throw is IUP. Cal was able to hold on and win, but free throws, the second most important part of the game to me behind defense.
Absolutely, and now Onana kicks it out to Ingram. We have 8:15 remaining in regulation, 8 seconds to shoot. Three ball by Williams, in and out. Rebound it's a jump ball possession, California. And we saw Richard Smith going one-on-one there with Hoying for the rebound.
And that was a great series right there, trying to get that rebound by Richard Smith. He was keeping on Hoying all the time on that series for the Lakers. He would not let him out of his sights, and then trying to fight for that rebound. Not able to come away with it, but jump ball, possession, Cal.
And now here is Jabby over to Jakubek, gets it over the timeline, and it is deflected, and a foul by Jakubek. That'll be his fourth. With 7:59 left in regulation, we will have a timeout on the court, but first here's that replay.
Yeah, you could see Jakubek kind of either swat or grab at Hoying after the steal. I would expect to see Jakubek sit down for a few minutes because with 4 fouls, he's a key, vital part of your offense. You need him out on the court as he averages just under 16 points a game. As you look at the Western Division of the PSAC, 0-0 in division right now because this is the first night of the division. When you look at overall records, it's surprising to me to see Gannon and Mercyhurst both down there at 0-2. California right there in the middle, 2-1. Edinburgh, IUP, UPJ, and Slippery Rock all undefeated, and they could all end this night undefeated as well.
And we're talking about Gannon. They're leading Slippery Rock 45-36 with about 12 minutes left as we were at that media timeout. Zach, there's some highlights.
And here, looked like that was Gino Nana with the shot, and then Dre Williams zooming past Armand Marks. It's a tied game, but the Lakers are going to have possession coming out of this timeout, which was the media timeout at the 8-minute mark. Damon Jones, he's had himself a decent game, 12 points. And then you throw it out to Andy Hoying, who's going to throw over to Dre Williams, who got the three to give Mercyhurst their first lead of the game at 43-42. Now it's all tied back up again. There's been 3 ties in this game, all tied up at 0. When
I don't think they count nothing as a tie, but nonetheless, we are going to see Nick Miller enter the game shortly for California. Miller was the leading scorer in the WPIAL last season. He's a freshman out of Industry, went to Western Beaver.
He averaged
29. Yeah, good.
He averaged 29.7 a game. He was second-team All-State in Class Single A. So, scoring ability, he's still young, so we'll have to see exactly what he brings to the team.
And we are back to live action as Ingram now hands it off to Williams. Now Hoying back to Williams. Williams inside to Bennett. Bennett, baseline. No good, but he's going to draw the foul on Richardson. That is his second.
A surprising call there. I think you could have gone with a no call there in that instance. You're going to get Bennett at the line. He's shooting 100% from the year. However, that he may have only taken 1 or 2 attempts.
And the first shot is good. We should point now Gannon, by the way, they had a tough opening weekend. They were at Glenville State. They also played Charleston, a pair of NCAA playoff teams from last year, as Bennett sinks them both, 2-point Lakers lead. So that Mountain East Conference is very tough. Give them a lot of credit as Miller now enters the game. We have a timeout on the court.
Looks like there is something on the court that they have to wipe up. So grabbing a towel to wipe it up, looks like it might be some spit or sweat over on the California bench. So we're going to get a little bit of a stoppage here. And Nick Miller into the game for the first time, like you said.
That's for which the Vulcans will travel to Edinburgh, take on the Fighting Scots at Macomb Fieldhouse on Saturday afternoon. We'll have coverage of that game for you on tape delay here on CUTV. The Fighting Scots, by the way, leading Seton Hill 73-49 with about 9 minutes left for the benefit of our America One audience. And we thank you for watching us if you are watching on America One. As Cook inside the Richardson to Smith. Smith draws a foul. It'll be on Bennett. That is his fourth.
I think this one might go against Ingram or Bennett. We'll have to see. It's going to actually go against Ingram. That's his fourth. So both of them in some foul trouble. Mercyhurst has 8 team fouls now, too. And since that was a shooting foul, I believe, that's going to send Smith to the line twice.
Makes the first one. Smith is 2 for 3 now on the day. He did enter the contest 5 for 12 from the stripe. So, of course, again, of course, 2 or 3 games in, it's really hard to gauge the foul shooting, but Smith splits the foul shots, and now the Lakers clinging to a 1-point lead with 7:15 left.
And again, those missed free throws are going to come back and bite someone in the end. If one team can start hitting them, they might be able to pull away with the victory.
And there's a jumper by Williams. That's good. 3-point Lakers lead. Zach, to that point, California's missed 8 foul shots so far. Mercyhurst has only gone to the line. They're 6 for 7 from the foul line, so the Lakers haven't gone to the line too much today. There's a steal by Onana. Now over to Hoying.
And Jabby was looking for a foul there, was not able to get the call. The Lakers can really start to pull away in this one. If they're able to make a shot here, it would extend it to a 5 or 6 point lead.
Here's Hoying over to Onana. Onana kicks out Williams. 3-ball. Bang. Kind of bounced, but he got it. And there's
going to be
a
a foul. This could be a 4-point play. That's huge for Mercyhurst. Williams now has 16 points in the game to lead all scorers. Watch right here. Cook is the one to call for the foul. He barely grazed his arm, though. I don't agree with calling a foul on that one, as he barely touched it.
And Trey Williams completes the 4-point play. It's now a 7-point Lakers lead. California, the wheels have started to fall off the wagon a little bit as Cook drives a baseline inside to Smith. Smith is going to draw the... Looks like it's going... And Cook is slow to get up. Fouls on Paris Bennett, his 4th.
So Bennett and Ingram both in foul trouble, and they've really done the work down low. If they happen to get out of this game, California might find something. Drew Cook looks like he's okay. Looks like it might have been his ankle that was injured on the play. We're going to see Smith go back to the line where he was 1 of 2 his last time there. You need both, really, if you're California in this instance.
And I believe it's a 1-and-1. Smith hits the first one. 6-point Lakers lead with 6:23 left in regulation. Both teams now in the bonus. Smith with 9 points on the game, and he sinks the second. So Mercyhurst 51, California 46. 6:20 left to play. Jones gets it over the timeline, over to Williams. Now out to Hoying. Hoying. Jones now over to Onana. Onana drives. He walked, I thought.
He did.
And they called it.
Yeah, they called it, and that was a clear walk. I'm thinking, where's the travel call on that one? My goodness, because he basically ran across the court. We'll see right here if we can see it. You have Damon Jones pass it over to Onana. 1, 2, yeah, that's traveling.
Well, the official did call it. It was just obstruct. We had our view obstructed by the action on the court, but we are back to live action as it is Jackie Beck now back in the game. He has 4 fouls. And now Jackie Beck trying. It's inside now to Richardson, excuse me. Now Jabby. 10 seconds to shoot. Here's Jackie Beck. Miller, jumper. That is good. So that is Nick Miller making it a 3-point game.
And if you're a nearly 30-point per game scorer, you have to have some really good shooting ability. Nice move there for the freshman, be able to move up, take the 2, get the points. Now it's back to a 3-point game.
Although it is a little different when you're playing. We have a timeout by Mercyhurst. That point about Miller, Zach, I mean, it's a little clearly different in the PSAC compared to playing schools like Southside Beaver or New Brighton or the other single-A schools up in Beaver County. But nonetheless, that Beaver County pipeline running strong as it looks like it's going to be a full timeout called by the Lakers. But we are going to keep it here.
We'll get some replays on this one. Trey Williams, Gene Onana passing over to Trey Williams again. This is the 4-point play, which I still don't agree with calling a foul there. I think it was a little ticky-tacky in my opinion. It's a 3-point game, though, for the Lakers. They have to keep the offense going that we've seen in this half. And then on the other end, Nick Miller, great move for the young kid out of Western Beaver, getting the score, his first 2 points of the night. The Vulcans have 3 players with 10 or more so far tonight. You look at our upcoming broadcasts, it's all basketball football, and then finally commencement at the end. You have at Edinburgh this Saturday. And then in 2 weeks after Thanksgiving break, Pitt Johnstown and Clarion on the tilt. And then, of course, commencement grad and undergrad.
Then we have the trip to Clarion. Tippin Gymnasium, always been a tough place for the Vulcans to play, both the men and the women. That would close out the front end of our divisional play. Of course, we're always enjoy making the trip up to one of the members of what some of our friends call the Canadian division of the PSAC West, up there in Erie County, as we're back to live action as Jones will take it in the backcourt. Jones gets it over. Now Williams being closely guarded by Jackie Beck. Over to Baines. Over to Jones. Jones resets the offense. 4 seconds to shoot. Not sure if he's aware of that here. Jones with a blocking foul. That looks like it's going to be on Jackie Beck. And that is his 5th foul. He is fouled out of the game, so that could be very costly.
Well, look right here, and he was moving his feet, so that's a good call there against Jackie Beck. It's unfortunate he had to foul out of this game, though, because they could really use his shooting ability late in this game, but we're not going to be able to see him anymore. So it's going to be up to Marks and Miller to really provide the shooting ability.
And again, you got to credit Mercyhurst's defense. Jackie Beck only going 1 for 2 from the field. Both of those shots from 3-point range. He went 2 for 2 from the foul line. He had a pair of rebounds and a pair of assists, but that's one less weapon in the Vulcans' arsenal as Jones hits the first 4-point Lakers lead. You heard behind us, Zach, one of the Cal-U Gospel Choirs sang the anthem before the women's game. They are here, stay for the men's game as well. They're getting fired up as Jones hits both foul shots. 5-point Lakers lead, under 5 to play.
And Jones now with 14, right behind Trey Williams, who has 17.
And it has turned into a defensive slugfest here late in the game as Jabby over to Miller. Miller now to Smith. Smith back out to Miller. Miller's going to get called for the travel. So California now with 10 turnovers in the second half. They had 7 in the first.
And we'll look right here. Miller had an open window. You have to shoot it right there, in my opinion. I think you got to go with the shot. If you're a shooter, take it. You're shooting 75% from distance so far in the season. You have to at least have a hot hand there.
And Marks gets bumped by Baines, but there's the rebound by Ewing and 1. No call by the officials as Ewing takes advantage. Hoop and harm. Foul will be on Armin Marks' second.
We'll look right here. Baines, I thought there was going to be a foul called here against Richard Smith, but it looks like he never touched him. And then Ewing with an easy rebound. Armin Marks coming in and is kind of giving his arm right into him. And that's Armin Marks' second foul so far.
Ewing at the line to try to complete the old school 3. No, I think they wait. That's no good. I think we had some momentary confusion. Javi tries to take advantage, but he draws the foul on Onana. That's his 3rd, and now both teams in the double bonus. Well, Zach, it looked like a lot of people, they were confused. They didn't realize it was a old school 3, not a 1-on-1 or a 2-shot foul.
Yeah, that was confusing there. I think it's probably because Mercyhurst didn't line up anybody at the basket. California just kind of lost a concentration there for a moment.
And that was a fortuitous break as Jabby now, his first foul shot of the contest, makes it. He is 12 for 14 from the foul line. Is Khalil Jabby, the junior out of Alexandria, Virginia.
And with free throw numbers like that, he reminds me of a former number 11 for Cal-U, Tynell Fortune, who is now playing at Kutztown.
Here's Jabby's second. That is good. Kutztown, speaking of which, is playing Mansfield to start their divisional play as we're back to live action. Here is Jones. Onana now, one-on-one with Cook defending. Ahoying now over to Jones. Jones. Williams drives a baseline jumper, no good. But there's a foul on Armin Marks. And we will have, that's his 3rd foul. We have a timeout on the court. We'll analyze that foul on the other side. Your score, Mercyhurst 55, California 50. You are watching California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.
NCAA Division II has much to cheer about, as nearly 100,000 student athletes compete with passion and pride. And I'm pleased to share the best news of all. Student athletes are outperforming the rest of the D2 student body in graduation rates. Just another reason why you'll hear us say with pride, I chose Division II. Learn more at d2sa.org.
With 18 institutions, my conference is the largest league across all NCAA classifications. With nearly 7,000 student athletes competing in 23 championships, my conference sponsors the most championships in Division II. With a 78% academic success rate, my conference graduates student athletes well above the national average. We compete with passion. We take pride in our efforts in the arena and in the classroom. The Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Passion, pride, Pennsylvania.
And welcome back to the Convocation Center. California trailing Mercyhurst 55 to 50. Zach, that Armin Marks looked shocked after he picked up his third foul. I think, quite frankly, so was I.
Yeah, it was a very close, and there were a few players in our way, so we weren't able to see the foul, but I think you could have gone with a no call there.
So now it'll be Williams at the foul line. Misses the first.
That's a big break. He comes in shooting 50% at the line, so he's going to miss a couple here and there.
Well, he's only shot 2 foul shots this year.
Well, okay, yeah,
Still.
given that, but if he misses both here, that's a really big break.
Absolutely. And he splits the foul shot, 6-point lead for the Lakers. 3:58 left in regulation. Here come the Vulcans. Jabby over the timeline, over to Cook.
And there's still enough time to able to come back in this one.
Absolutely, a couple 3 balls, and Vulcans will be back in business. Marks loses control, but Jabby recovers. Jabby tries to drive the baseline, throws it into Smith. Smith with a jumper. It's the front of the rim, no good. Rebound by Jones. Jones flies down the court, and what a block by Richard Smith. Miller with the rebound. Here's Cook. Cook is going to slow everybody down. Jabby, 3-ball, no good. It's the top of the rim.
And back to that block by Richard Smith, though. That was a very athletic move. He was waiting there for Damon Jones, who got past Jabby, and then Smith was right there to knock it away.
Richard Smith recorded 205 blocks his previous 2 years at Lakeland Community College outside of Cleveland. He took last year off and is now back in the game, as it were, and California couldn't be any happier. They may not be too happy with the score at the moment, which is a 6-point deficit. 3 minutes remaining in regulation. Here's the baseline by Ewing. Shot is no good. Rebound controlled by Smith. And now over to Jabby. Vulcans still got a puncher's chance. It's not an insurmountable lead by any stretch.
And that's where those rebounds by Richard Smith are going to really come down to how it matters most late in the game.
Here's Cook. Jabby. Jabby's going to drive. Kicks it out to Marks. 3-ball. No good. Rebound by Damon Jones.
And that's something we've not seen this half from the Vulcans. They cannot hit the 3 this half. And they need one desperately. We're going to get a timeout called by Mercyhurst with 2:29 to go.
And Mercyhurst, I believe, would have 1 timeout remaining after this. Vulcans have 2 timeouts. I believe it's a 30 and a full, so 2:29 left to play in regulation. California, they were leading by as many as 13, late with about 6 minutes left in the first half, and it's just starting to, we saw a lot of momentum in the first half, but Mercyhurst just coming out on fire the second half.
Yeah, it's just been the Mercyhurst show so far in this second half. Now, California can definitely have a late run sparked by some big plays that we saw in the first half. They can get those going. I think they still have a chance. With 2:29 to go, though, you're starting to run out of time. You got to force it on the defensive end.
And both teams are in the double bonus. So reset the lineups quickly. It's Damon Jones, Dre Williams, Andy Hoying, John Onana, Paris Bennett for the Lakers. For Cal, it's Drew Cook, Khalil Jabby, Armin Marks, Richard Smith, and Nick Miller. Onana over to Hoying. Hoying swings it over to Jones on the far side. Jones swings it cross court over to Onana. Now Hoying thought about a three. Instead, he will kick it back out to Onana. 4 seconds to shoot. 3 seconds. Onana drive, no good. And that is a shot clock violation. It never hit the rim. So there's that break you were talking about, Zach.
Yeah, and that one definitely did not hit rim. We have 2:01 left. And Hoying is like, hey, I got the rebound off that hit rim. It did not. It went over the top of the basket and just past it.
That's a big break for California's Miller over to Cook. Now Jabby. Here's Smith. 3-ball, no good. It's in front of the rim. Rebound controlled by Bennett.
Now, at this point in the game, you have to start going low. You have to get points. You cannot start launching threes and hope they go in.
There's a foul by Cook. That'll be his second. So Damon Jones now goes to the foul line to shoot 2. He is 6 for 7 from the charity stripe tonight.
And that was a hard foul, too. And
yes,
you have to do it at this point, though, because it's a double bonus as well. With 1:33 to go, you could be down by 8.
So Jones will miss the first foul shot. As we mentioned, the gospel choir behind us, among the many fans here at the Convocation Center, trying to make some noise, fire this crowd up. Both foul shots missed. Smith with the rebound. Here's Cook. Cook. He gets fouled by Onana. That is his 4th.
And Mercyhurst, they're starting to get into some foul trouble now. If this one happens to go into some extra minutes, I know we hate that at the CUTV crew, but if it does go into some extra minutes, then that could be huge, because then you could lose Onana, Ingram, and Bennett all playing with 4 fouls. Dre Williams also has 3.
So now Cook will go to the line. He makes the first. Drew Cook now with 8 points on the game. With 1:28 left in regulation. 5-point Mercyhurst lead. And the second shot is good. It is Mercyhurst 56, California 52. And there's the effort by Jabby, but the ball goes out of bounds just to the right of Cody Jeanette on the radio. You know, in the first game, Zach had a ball going, nearly hitting the box during the women's game a few feet away from Cody Jeanette.
Well, that's the risk we take with being so close to court at press row. We're gonna have the basketball come at us sometimes, and we gotta be prepared for it.
Yep. And here's Jones. And Bennett now. Bennett tries a baseline jumper. In and out, no good. And the rebound is controlled by Onana.
Richard Smith jumped too early there, and that gave the opportunity for Hoying to knock it out.
And now Bennett. Bennett's going to drive the jumper's no good. Rebound by Marks. Marks over the timeline. 53 seconds left in regulation. 3-ball. Miller. Bang! Nick Miller with a 3-pointer. Fired that one from Beaver County.
The young kid with the shot of his young career so far. I know you're a freshman. I know this is your 3rd game, but welcome to the show, young kid. 56, 55. This one is far from over. You got 50.7 seconds left. Nick Miller, no hesitation. Catch and shoot. You were a scorer in high school. You've scored 5 here tonight. Who knows what the future can hold for this kid if that shooting ability keeps on growing as he gets older.
Yeah, you hear the strains of the Bee Gees staying alive. Seems rather appropriate. They are staying alive here in this contest. Down by 1. Lakers will inbound. And the California Vulcans now, the crowd fired up here at the Convocation Center. Bill Brown looking pensive. Nicely Hoying. California trying to go full court pressure. Williams barely gets it over the timeline. The Vulcans defense nearly lost by Jones, and it is out of bounds. California ball. Drew Cook forcing the turnover.
Great defense there by the young sophomore from Beaver Falls. Goodness gracious. The fans behind us are starting to jump up and get a Lansing. And Creighton, guess what? California has last possession here, and there's no fouls to give for Mercyhurst. California can hold it for the last shot and possibly win.
But you have to pick it correctly. That's what you have to do if you're California. You can't force this shot, as it is Javi. It's back to Javi now. Cook, excuse me. 16 seconds to shoot. Here's Cook. Javi trying to find the open player. He's got Miller. 10, 9, 8. Smith, 3-ball, no good. Rebound controlled by Damon Jones, and California fouls with 3.9 seconds left. A tough break for Richard Smith. That shot just not on target. Foul is on Armin Marks, his fourth. So Jones will now go to the foul line. Damon Jones, 6 for 9 from the charity stripe this evening. 3.9 seconds left in regulation. Fans behind us getting fired up as Jones gets a friendly bounce. Now to reset, California has 2 timeouts remaining. Mercyhurst, I do believe, has 1 remaining. Jones hits them both. So Mercyhurst will call a timeout with 3.9 remaining. And California, they have 1 timeout remaining. They did not call a timeout in the first half, so that timeout does not carry over. So we take a look now at the missed foul shot. The missed 3-ball. Here's Smith, had a good look, but it hits the side of the rim and bounces off. Jones gets the rebound. So 3.9 seconds left. If you're Mercyhurst, it would not be a bad idea to foul before a shot gets off, because you definitely have some sharpshooters out there, and Armin Marks, Drew Cook. We saw Nick Miller with the big 3-ball moments ago. Javi will inbound on the far side. Javi fires it. Smith, it is Marks. And that's going to be a timeout, California. So with 2 seconds left, I believe that will be California's final timeout. And California is out of timeouts. Remember, they had, as we said, they did not call a timeout in the first half, so that does not carry over into the second half. So now both teams are without timeouts. This is a full timeout. We are going to keep it here. But it was interesting the way this game has played out. John Onana with only 6 points, but he's had Trey Williams with 18 and Damon Jones with 16. They've picked up the slack. So now California with Drew Cook will inbound right in front of the scorer's table. Cook, Smith, through his hands, foul, right, and it's going to be a foul on Smith. That's his second, but Damon Jones will go to the line with a chance to ice it with 9/10 of a second left. So it's a disappointing finish. I'm not sure if we have that replay or not, but nonetheless, just a very gut-wrenching finish. It went right through Smith's hands and And as Jones was trying to get the rebound, he gets fouled. Jones hits the first one. It's a 4-point Mercyhurst lead, and that will ice it. So a tough loss for California as Jones hits the second. California inbounds, and that will do it. Your final score, California 60. I'm sorry, Mercyhurst 60, California 55. So that'll do it here from the Convocation Center. The good news for the Vulcans, they had 3 players finish with 10 points in Richard Smith, Armin Marks, and Tony Richardson, but it was not enough as the Lakers get a big win on the road, defeating California 60-55. So, for our next broadcast will be from Macomb Fieldhouse as the Vulcans take on the Fighting Scots of Edinburgh, who defeated Seton Hill this evening. For Zach Lamar and our entire CUTV crew, I'm Creighton Rabb saying thank you for watching California Vulcans men's basketball on CUTV Sports.